We are heading to Kensington Market to meet up for our food tour. We made it to the meetup point for our food tour, and we're just sitting here having a little water beforehand, and this place is really cute. So, the one on the left is coconut and the one on the right is...
This is their award-winning sandwich. It was rated one of the top 5 sandwiches in Toronto. It's very surprisingly good. So it's a sweet horseradish jelly with arugula and smoked trout.
Yum! This is the coconut bagel. I don't even like coconut and that's delicious. It's so soft. This is the one with the fish. Was it halibut? What'd you say the fish was? Halibut? Trout. Why was I thinking it was halibut?
You say halibut every time you think you can't figure out what I've noticed that.
I just guessed halibut. It's trout.
I don't know why you do.
It's called the most multicultural city in the world, and it actually kind of deserves that title. More diverse ethnic groups live here than anywhere else. More languages are spoken than anywhere else. And perhaps most astonishingly of all, nearly half of the population of Toronto actually comes from another country. It has nearly a 50% immigrant population. And Kensington Market is that attitude absolutely on steroids. Well known as the father of the Parisian advertising style. Now across the way, you'll see a car hollowed out and filled with a community garden. People from the neighborhood come out and they plant things in the car. It's been around for a couple of years. It actually literally started just as an abandoned car that people started to paint. Then somebody took out the engine, started to put stuff in it, and sort of naturally grew into the garden car, which is sort of a Kensington Market. That one day a great king would come to Jamaica and end its long drought. Haile Selassie was the king of Ethiopia in the 60s. He made a statement to Jamaica, and upon his arrival, lo and behold, rain. And so Haile Selassie, king of Ethiopia, has been the deity of the Rastafarian religion.
We're about to have a Jamaican patty and coconut bread, and we're at this place.
It tastes like crystals. It tastes like crystals. I was wondering, I was like, why does this taste familiar? It tastes like crystals.
Oh, it does. It tastes exactly like a Crispus burger.
on the tour. This is an indigenous restaurant. It's owned by a guy named Chef Sean, who is a Ojibwe chef. So that's what we're going to be having today, is some Ojibwe cuisine. Ojibwe is the second largest Canadian tribe, second only to the Cree. So what we're going to have today is something very, very traditional, something that that has been in Indigenous cuisine for a very, very long time. In fact, much older than Canada was a thing, and something a little bit new, an invention of Chef Sean. He sort of does Indigenous fusion.
All right, so does it matter which one we eat first?
Go, whatever one you prefer.
So this is the bannock bread.
That's the bannock bread.
We'll try the duck bacon now. And it's a jam. What kind of jam?
Blueberry.
Blueberry jam.
Oh, I like that. That's really good.
I don't usually like fatty meats, but that's good. We are going into jumbo empanadas. It's time for a taste of chili, is what he said.
Okay, right next door.
This is Inca Cola. He's correct. It looks like Mountain Dew, and it
It's really, really
smells like
popular in
bubblegum.
Latin America, especially
So-
in Peru, but it hasn't really infiltrated North America. You have to sort of go to special.
What does it taste like? What is that? Yes. It tastes like a liquid. It does. It tastes like a liquid bubblegum. Verdict. I like it. You like it? Meh. She can't really drink it, but you like it.
No.
No. We are about to try a hamita and an empanada. The hamita is going to look a little bit like tamale, but it doesn't taste like it.
Curious to see what you think of that.
Empanada masita. So that's what's inside the corn husk. Try a little bit of
Any
salsa.
guesses on what's inside?
What do you think of it? Is it good? Jamie's tearing it up. Well, that's good. I'm gonna try it without the salsa, but the salsa is delicious. I'm probably gonna regret this because it's burning my fingers, but I'm gonna eat it. Yeah.
Called it bullet coffee. Now, your dumplings, the momos,
butter tea.
probably seem very much like dumplings that you've had before. As I said, they started in Mongolia, went all throughout all of Asia. Every country in Asia will have its own sort of version of the dumpling, but they all sort of do their own thing with it. So, tea place. Now, a fika is a break in the middle of the day. Keep in mind, this is the land of 3-day weekends, 4-day weeks. So almost embedded in Swedish culture is the idea of relaxing, taking time off. So Fika is a middle of the day break where you just sort of unwind. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to have a bit of a Fika. What we're going to have is a tea that is a rooibos tea. Now, rooibos is a South African blend. It only grows in South Africa. They've tried to grow it elsewhere, but it only grows there. And why it's really great for fikas and why it's really taken off in that part of the world is that rooibos is very, very healthy, much like tea. It contains a lot of the same nutrients as tea. It contains more antioxidants than a black tea, slightly less than a green tea. But what's really cool about it is it has no caffeine. So you can have it at any time in the day. And more than that, more than having it at any time in the day, it has the sort of reverse effect of tea. Whereas tea sort of pumps you up, rooibos will sort of calm you down. It's sort of like a warm glass of milk. So we're going to have a rooibos today for our fika, as well as a gingerbread cookie in the shape of a dollar horse. Now you'll sort of see this toy horse here. You can see them both in the window. A dollar horse is a toy horse with no tail.
We're trying the ginger cookie. Shaped like a horse with no tail.
I think we have room if one other person wants to sit.
Gingerbread cookie, shaped like a horse. Now we're trying some rooibos tea.
Very unusual.
It's not alcoholic.
Yeah.
That's different. I don't know that I've ever had that flavor before.
Oh, I love that. You can get it in the grocery.
It's good. He said you could add sugar to it, but I actually don't think it needs sugar.
I've never had it hot. I've never had it ice. This is good.
Hey, we just got through with our food tour. I'd like you to meet somebody.
Hello, I'm William. I was their tour guide today. I work for Chopsticks Forks, so if you're ever in Toronto, I would recommend it. We did the international tour, which is an international journey through the most ethnically diverse area of the most multicultural city in the world. So I hope to see you soon.
We finished our food tour. Now we're waiting on the tram to go to the docks to take the ferry to Center Island to get a better view of the town. We're trying to catch the ferry because it's about to leave. Got our tickets. Called Jack Astor's, and we were given hats because the Raptors are playing tonight. King of the North. Homage to some Game of Thrones. But yeah, we're here gonna have some drinks and food and hang out with all the Raptor fans. Just got our food here at Jack Astor's, and it looks delicious. Well, that's the end of our time in Toronto. We really enjoyed our last day there. The food tour was fantastic. Really enjoyed wandering around Kensington Market and hearing all the history behind it. Also, going to Center Island was by far the best view of the city. I believe if you want to go get some good Instagram shots, that is the place to go. The ferry's pretty cheap and it doesn't take very long to get there. After we got our shots, we sat outside on the deck and had some cocktails and just chilled until the ferry came back. I really recommend doing that if it's a nice day in Toronto. Please hit that like button if you liked the video. Go ahead and hit subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, and that way you can keep track of my travels Next up is Colorado. Me and some friends went and had a really good time, so that should be posting soon. Have fun and explore life.